Good evening and welcome to the Diamond Newsdesk at 8 on Diamond TV. We bring you the latest stories featured on our website, diamondtvzambia.com. The headlines. Kazungula man on the run after killing ex-lover. Over 200 bags of maize burnt in Mufumbwe, farmers left stranded. LCC shuts down Lusaka complex over single toilet facility. We have all these stories and more coming up right after this break. To present the news in detail, my name is Diana Mwenda. Over 270 50 kg bags of white maize belonging to more than 5 farmers have been burned to ashes by unknown people at Ntongo Arena in Kizela Ward, Mufumbwe district. Confirming the incident, Kizela Ward Councillor Lakson Mwanza says the maize was set on fire in the early hours of August 28, 2025, while farmers awaited for Food Reserve Agency to purchase it. He has explained that due to inadequate satellite depots, farmers were told by Senior Chief Kizela to camp at the arena with their maize. One of the affected farmers, Jacqueline Chawu, who lost 52 bags, expressed disappointment with FRA delays, saying she has been waiting since June. She lamented that losing her maize will affect her ability to support her children's education.
In a heartbreaking incident, early this morning, 280 bags of 50 kg white maize belonging to 5 farmers in Kizela Ward were burnt to ashes at Ntongo Arena in Mufumbwe district. The fire, which erupted during the early hours, has left the local farming community devastated with losses estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of kwacha.
Our maize together, His Royalness Chief Kizera gave us in Ntongo Arena so that we heap our maize together. Unfortunately, the government yesterday sent some workers from FRA to assure us that today they will be on the site to start buying maize. To our dismay, this morning when we called for the meeting for farmers to gather so that we see how we can mobilize ourselves with other logistics which were not in place, someone from the community burns the arena and some bags of maize are burnt.
The affected farmers reports losing varying quantities of maize, with some losing as many as 50 bags, while others lost around 10 bags. It is very frustrating. We had stored our maize here, hoping to sell it when the time was right, but now all is lost, lamented one of the farmers. The FRA delayed buying our maize, and this has turned into a disaster for us. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined, but the farmers are expressing strong dissatisfaction with the Food Reserve Agency, blaming the delay in maize purchase for their current predicament.
Lero tuwafika nepa kipimo kya kupiramu basoka ne kutsokera matava na mambo akubanda kwa sikero na kubatumba lero tsakureta kesha tsakureta lero tsakutara tuno kutara ko twatadzirenga ko tumoba onse panote babanzi minobe banzi mitwijijanganya.
Farmers are calling on authorities to investigate the incident thoroughly and to ensure such losses do not recur.
Lero matava yetu afika pakona ika. So kafurumende twena kwimurombamba tukwasha iko tubira iko rusa. Mambo byebye na kumweka ketwamvwa burongone.
Meanwhile, Northwestern Province Police Commissioner Brighton Swale has not yet issued an official statement on the matter. Mlenga Bwalia, Diamond News, Mufumbwe, Northwestern Province.
The Lusaka City Council has shut down Park Empire Complex on Lumumba Road, opposite Comesa Market, citing violations of public health regulations. LCC Assistant Public Relations Manager Vulumba Nyambe has revealed that the complex, which houses over 70 restaurants and other businesses, had only one functioning toilet despite heavy daily usage. Some traders, however, have disputed the findings, claiming the facility has multiple toilets serving both Comesa tenants and Comesa Market customers. LCC has since summoned the landlords to explain why such conditions were allowed.
In an effort to rid the central business district of businesses that failed to comply with public health standards, the Lusaka City Council has shut down Park Empire Complex located along Lumumba Road opposite Comesa Market. The closure comes after a public health inspection revealed serious sanitation violations at the busy commercial hub, which houses more than 70 restaurants and various other businesses. And according to Lusaka City Council Assistant Public Relations Officer Vulumba Nyambe, the complex was found to have only one operational toilet facility, a situation deemed highly inadequate given the large number of daily visitors and business operators.
And besides that, the entire complex doesn't have proper food restaurant systems, no bids around, so people are just illegal dumping also in the venue.
LCC expressed concern that such conditions pose a significant risk to public health, particularly in a high-traffic area like the CBD. As part of the council's broader crackdown on non-compliant establishments, the move signals a firm stance against poor hygiene practices that threaten community well-being. However, the action has not gone without contention. Some business operators within the complex have disputed the council's assessment, insisting that the facility does meet required health standards.
It's a lie. This building has got many toilets. I think how many toilets do I have? Maybe more than 10 toilets. This is the only toilet we are using. The whole, this whatever they call it, Comesa Market, they don't have any running water. Even that side, when you go to the robot somewhere there, you go and check. You will find people they are using buckets.
What the council has done today, I'm still in shock because this is not supposed to be it. We comply with all their laws, but why are they shutting our businesses down? How are we going to work? How are we going to look after our families? The closure of Park Empire Complex highlights the Lusaka City Council's ongoing efforts to uphold sanitation standards and protect public health within the city's key commercial zones. Elfie Mwale Shampande, Diamond News.
Police in Southern Province have launched a manhunt for 22-year-old Bethwel Dolopo Siakwembela of Siamboma Village in Kazungula District, suspected of murdering his 15-year-old ex-girlfriend Cynthia Siakulia. Southern Province Police Deputy Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo has confirmed that the incident happened on August 26, 2025 at Siakwembela Village under Chief Nyawa. Mr. Namalongo says the two were previously in a relationship before the juvenile decided to end it. The suspect allegedly refused to accept the breakup and insisted on continuing the affair.
The refusal to accept the end of a relationship has ended in the loss of a young life. Police say 22-year-old Bethwel Dolopo of Siamboma Village stands accused of brutally murdering his former lover, 15-year-old Cynthia Siagulia. The two were once in a relationship, but when Cynthia chose to walk away, the suspect allegedly refused to let go. On 26th August 2025, while Cynthia was home caring for her two young cousins, just 7 and 4 years old, the suspect reportedly shot up. Moments later, tragedy struck. It is alleged that he attacked a teenager with an axe, fatally wounding her in full view of the helpless children. He then fled the scene, leaving behind a murder weapon and a pair of white slippers believed to be his. When police arrived, Cynthia's lifeless body lay face down, with a deep wound to the back of her head. Meanwhile, Kawe Ward Councillor Moses Yajinde is urging residents to remain vigilant and assist police in ensuring justice prevails in this case.
So what we are encouraging the community Whenever there's a criminal record in the press, in the world, it's better they report those issues to police. Because if that matter was reported to the police at the first time, this matter could not have been happened. So the issue of resolving things in the villages, it should come to an end because we are promoting murder. So we are having that challenge in the world, and this time we will start reporting all those people who try to resolve things in the villages.
The body has since been taken to Colombo District Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem and burial. Gabriel Jasans Mova, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
Police in Kabwe have charged prominent farmer Maria Zalumis 40 of Wonani Farm in Montana and 4 others with the murder of 22-year-old Enoch Simfukwe Kasengele of 16 miles along the Kabwe-Lusaka road. Those arrested with her are Nathaniel Bathram, 34, a Nigerian national, Daniel Chilua, 40, a farm manager, Fortune Mwitangati, 23, of Nyambe Farm, and Gift Daka, 25, of Wonani Farm. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the 5 have been jointly charged with 1 count of murder, contrary to Section 200 of the Penal Code, following investigations. Mr. Hamonga has assured the public that police remain committed to pursuing justice without fear or favor.
A viral video showing 22-year-old Enoch Simfukwe Kasengele tied up and being questioned for an alleged crime before his death has landed Maria Zolomes, her lover Nathaniel Bathram, and 3 others in trouble for the capital offense of murder. The suspects are accused of assaulting the deceased, who later died at Kabwe Central Hospital. According to a post-mortem conducted on August 20, 2025, Enoch Simfukwe died from blunt force head injuries inflicted by a hard object. Police say the victim was beaten by a mob now facing murder charges, a non-bondable and non-bailable offense. Authorities have vowed to pursue justice without fear or favor and ensure perpetrators of serious crimes are held accountable. This follows a series of calls from civil society organizations to have the matter thoroughly investigated.
All the suspects are in police custody and will appear in court soon. The Zambia Police Service assures the public that it will continue to pursue justice without fear or favor and ensure that those who commit serious crimes are held accountable.
3 days ago, Siawan, brother to one of the suspects, had this to say.
Under the leadership of President HH, the police is trusted to do the right thing. One of the reasons why I have not commented is because, as you all know, I am 100% supporter for President Hakainde Hichilema. Whichever way, this is my brother, this is my government, I am in a fix. I am in between 2 people. That's why I have allowed neutrality. I have never in my life negotiated for anything concerning this case. And I don't talk about it. He said, when you commit a crime, you're on your own. Once found guilty, please, I stand on that word. You are on your own. Carry the cross. Whether you are my brother, whether you are my mother, whether you are my sister, carry the cross.
In Zambia, murder carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment after President Hakainde Hichilema signed the Penal Code Amendment Bill into law in 2022, abolishing the death penalty for capital offences. In February 2023, the remaining death sentences of 390 prisoners were commuted to life imprisonment by President Hichilema. In December 2024, Zambia officially became a party to the second optional protocol to the ICCPR, a treaty dedicated to global abolition of death penalty. Victoria Kayeye Hiyambani, Diamond News.
We take a set of commercials. Up next is the weather and business news. Keep watching.
This is your Diamond Insight of the latest inflation report by Zamstats. The latest figures from the Zambia Statistics Agency show that annual inflation has slowed to 12.6% in August of 2025. The figure is down from 13% the previous month. At face value, this is a positive development. It suggests that government policy measures and market trends are combining to ease pressure on prices, particularly in both food and non-food categories. In purely statistical terms, this trajectory from over 16% in nearly 2025 to the current 12.6% is encouraging. The lived reality of citizens, however, tells a more complex story. For nearly 2 years, households and businesses alike have endured persistent electricity shortages that have disrupted daily life, raised the cost of doing business, and undermined economic confidence. For many, the promise of reduced inflation means little when basic survival requires candles, generators, or hours of waiting in the dark. Inflation may be easing, but economic hardship remains. The disconnect raises an important question. Are citizens being dishonest about the economic situations, or are statistics simply failing to capture the depth of their struggles? In truth, both realities coexist. On one hand, inflation figures are accurate in showing a downward trend in the general level of prices. On the other, people experience the economy not through data tables, but through the burdens they carry. The higher cost of electricity alternatives, the loss of income for small traders unable to operate, the insecurity of a household that cannot store food safely because of the fridge being off more than often. It is therefore possible to acknowledge progress on inflation, that while at the same time recognizing that Zambia's economic recovery is fragile and uneven. Western Province, for instance, still records inflation as high as 17.2% compared to 8.9% in Eastern Province. Such disparities remind us that aggregate figures conceal local realities where communities feel left behind. What is needed is honesty from citizens and from policymakers. Citizens must avoid the temptation of dismissing every positive economic indicator as propaganda, but government too must not hide behind falling inflation figures while ignoring the very real pain caused by power shortages and structural weaknesses. Progress should not be measured only in percentages, but in the restoration of stability to ordinary lives.
Business News is brought to you by Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Business News Update tonight on the Diamond Newsdesk at 8. Here are the top stories. Trade Kings powers ZAM's 15th Manufacturers Month. And Zambia wins bid to host 3 major African conferences. These are some of the stories we have for you today in the Business News Update. And later on, we'll take a look at the money markets, but also some commodity prices for food, non-food items, and construction commodities. All this coming up tonight in business. Let's now get into the details of our business news stories today. The Trade Kings Group has boosted this year's Manufacturers Month with a 200,000 sponsorship kwacha to the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, ZAM, as the institution also celebrates its 40th anniversary under the theme 40 Years of Excellence, driving industrial growth through regional integration and resilience. Speaking at Big Tree Group, Public Relations Manager Bridget Kambobe says the company is proud to align itself with ZAM on this milestone, adding that as Trade Kings celebrates its own 30-year journey, it views itself not just as a business in Zambia, but as a true representation of the nation's industrial ambition. And ZAM Chief Executive Officer Muntanga Lindunda expressed deep gratitude for the sponsorship, noting that Trade Kings' innovative spirit and growth remain evident to all. Here are the details.
Established in 1995, Trade Kings Group Zambia continues to lead in manufacturing, producing trusted brands across household care, beverages, and confectionery with a reputation of innovation, quality, and regional growth. As the company celebrates 30 years of its remarkable journey, Group Public Relations Manager Bridget Kambobe has reaffirmed its commitment to Zambia's industrial future.
The 30 years that Trade Kings has grown to be a leading manufacturer of quality, affordable, available products that are available for every single Zambian. And for that, we would like to continuously think the Zambians are the ones that have grown this company, and not only have grown this company, continue to demonstrate the commitment towards the quality brands that we continue to innovate for the market.
The group has given a sum of 200,000 kwacha to the Zambia Association of Manufacturers for the 50th edition of Manufacturers Month.
We're proud as Trade Kings Group to be a part and parcel of this year's Manufacturers Month, because as ZAM celebrates 40 years, the Trade Kings is celebrating 30 years. And of that, we are saying we are proud as a member, and also proud to be a Zambian company that has demonstrated resilience. So I will be picking on how we feel about this theme that directly aligns with how Trade Kings has grown in the last 30 years.
And ZAM Chief Executive Officer Muntanga Lindunda has expressed deep gratitude for the sponsorship, highlighting Trade Kings' innovative ways and visible growth as a source of pride for the manufacturing industry.
ZAM at 40 years and ZAM in the next 40 years. For us, we see continued resilience. Yes, we have been hit by different issues, and the energy crisis that we have had, but it's been in this period that we have also seen growth in our members who have been resilient, that we are now contributing about 9.3% to GDP. And when you look at the tax contribution, it keeps growing and it's somewhere around 10.4%. So all that shows you that we are operating in a sector that is driving a lot of growth for our country, and there could be more.
With partnerships such as these, Zambia's manufacturing sector continues to strengthen its foundation, driving growth, resilience, and regional integration for a brighter industrial future. Victoria Kayeye Yambani, Dama News.
And now, moving on, Zambia has secured the right to host 3 major African conferences after defeating Botswana and Malawi in a highly competitive process. Speaking during the joint MICE bid handover ceremony in Lusaka on Thursday, Zambia Tourism Agency ZTA Chief Executive Officer Matongo Matamwandi says the conferences, the African Marketing Confederation Conference, that the African ICT Conference and the Africa Supply Chain Conference will be held in Livingstone from 25th to 27th May 2026. Now, Tourism Minister Rodney Sukumba also says the conferences reaffirm Zambia's growing role in meetings, incentives and conferences, as well as exhibitions known as MICE tourism. He notes that this sector already accounts for up to 80% of hotel occupancy, while supporting jobs across the hospitality, logistics, transport and the creative industries.
Zambia is rapidly positioning itself as a leader in meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions, or simply MICE. The tourism subsector already accounts for up to 80% of hotel occupancy, while supporting jobs in hospitality, logistics, transport and the creative industries. The Zambia Tourism Agency, working in partnership with the Zambian Institute of Marketing, the Zambia Institute of Purchasing and Supply, and the Information and Communication Technology Association of Zambia, has announced that the country has won the bid to host 3 prestigious continental conferences, including the African Marketing Conference, all set for May 2026 in Livingstone. ZTA Chief Executive Officer Matongo Matamwandi says the achievement underscores Zambia's reputation as a premier MICE destination.
And it was on those premises, Honorable Minister, that we teamed up with the 3 professional bodies. We got enough intel that the organizers of these African conferences for all the 3 professions are actually organized by one entity. And because of that, we thought instead of individual professional bodies to go through bid for their own African conference, we would come together as one force, and the 3 presidents agreed through the CEOs, and then we...
Tourism Minister Rodney Sukumba has added that government is developing a national MICE strategy aimed at unlocking more opportunities in the sector.
MICE, as they popularly call it, meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions, or events is not merely just people sitting in boardrooms, drinking teas and coffees, and then eventually taking family pictures. For us in tourism, it's what has shown us growth. Statistics has it that 70 to 80% of occupants in these hotels, convention centers and hotels, is as a result of Maize.
We know that when people come here, they will be able to spend quite a lot of money in the country, whether it's in terms of where they will be sleeping, where they will be eating, and we are showing them that we are a country that is full of fun as well, whether it's just not in terms of culture, but just nightlife as well when they come to Zambia, so we show them the hospitality that we talk about.
Meanwhile, Zambia Institute of Marketing President Mwewabesa has highlighted the benefits of collaboration among professional associations in securing the bid.
Proud, sir, that we brought back the accolades to this nation, and we trust to be able to work together just to open certain doors, because obviously an event of this magnitude will require a lot of support from the ministry.
This successful bid not only strengthens Zambia's profile as a Maize hub, but also sets the stage for greater investment, collaboration and visibility on the continental stage, with Livingstone at the heart of Africa's conferencing future. Rachel Mumba. For Diamond News.
Now, the Zambia Federation of Cooperative Miners, ZFCM, and 2Pay Technologies Limited have signed a partnership that will digitize and formalize Zambia's artisanal and small-scale mining sector. 2Pay Technologies Limited Chief Executive Officer Mataka Chizinga says the partnership will help improve comprehensive solutions for artisanal and small-scale miners needed through advanced technology integration. Mr. Chizinga says the 2Pay identity will provide something never before available to the artisanal miners, such as dignity, security, fair value, and access to capital. Let's get more details of this story.
A partnership has been sealed by two giants whose interest is to ensure artisanal and small-scale miners get value for their products. The Zambia Federation of Cooperative Miners and 2Pay Technologies Limited have signed a partnership that will digitalize and formalize Zambia's artisanal and small-scale mining sectors, which will directly impact over 200,000 miners and their families. The initiative is rooted on 4 pillars, among them identity and access, protection and security, transparency and accountability, market and value.
If you may ask what this really unlocks, for the miners, dignity, security, fair value, and most importantly, access to capital. For the lenders, a new de-risked asset class rooted in real production and ensured output. And for Zambians, jobs, revenue, formalization, and a stronger and more inclusive economy.
The initiative has elated the Cooperative Federation, who say it will unlock the sleeping giant of mining cooperatives.
We see that cooperatives play a very, very big role to the nation. So even in Zambia, when we embrace this model, we are going to see a lot of people actually being included in the economic activities.
And TransUnion, a credit bureau, has applauded the partnership, saying it will improve credit rating for artisanal and small-scale miners, which will unlock financial access.
And in turn, you find that this system will create, honesty, loyalty, and also profitability for respective businesses.
Empowering small-scale miners with access to finance, technical support, and formal market opportunities has the potential to unlock inclusive and sustainable growth for Zambia's mining industry.
Zambia currently has over 5,000 artisanal and small-scale miners who have struggled to break even due to the lack of capital, contributing very little to the Zambian economy. Initiatives such as these ones create opportunities for the miners to have access to capital, which will improve their businesses. Pudis Chota for Diamond News.
Well, those are your business news stories that I had for you today. But let's now take a look at the money market. Well, for the money markets today, here's how the kwacha performed in comparison with the United States dollar as of 28th August 2025. The United States dollar was buying at 23 kwacha 40 ngwe and it was selling at 23 kwacha 77 ngwe. These are your average commercial rates of today. Let's now take a look at construction commodities. Well, for construction commodities, we have two items for you, and the first is the P-trap with adapter flexible sink drain pipe, which is going at 557 kwacha 19 ngwe. This is how much you might need to spend in order for you to get yourself this particular sink drain pipe. But we have another commodity when it comes to construction, which is a hand drill multifunctional drilling machine, electric driver small pistol drill, and its cost is 2,840 kwacha 8 ngwe. And this is one that, has basically a rated voltage of about 220. So for you to get yourself this particular item, you need to spend this much. Those are your construction commodities. Let's now take a look at the food and the non-food items. All right, we'll start off with the food items. First up on the list is beef. 1 kg of beef is going to cost you 110 kwacha, and 2 kg of sugar, you will have to spend in between 67 and 70 kwacha. Just a range of 3 kwacha there. But when it comes to 1 kg of sugar, you might have to spend between 37 and 35 kwacha. And for 2.5 kg of flour, you might be able to spend 89 kwacha. Talking about Nakonde rice, 5 kg is in between 175 and 190 kwacha, while a tray of eggs is selling between 95 and 115 kwacha. Cooking oil, 2.5 liters is in between 164 and 180, while 5 liters is in between 260 and 300 kwacha. Now, Millimil breakfast, 10 kg is in between 130 and 150, while 25 kg is in between 260 and 310 kwacha. For all of Millimil, 10 kg is going between 100 and 120, while 25 kg is in between 225 and 240. Those are your food items. But take a look at the non-food items, and we start with toilet paper. 10 rolls are going to cost you 85 kwacha, and 175 grams of toothpaste is in between 37 and 40 kwacha. For multi-purpose soap, just a bar, you might need to spend between 35 and 45 kwacha. And now washing powder, we start with 500 grams, which is going to between 40 and 45, 1.5 kg, which is going between 115 and 125, and 3.5 kg, which is going between 220 and 265. And for bathing soap, just a bar will cost you between 19 kwacha and 47 kwacha. And finally, liquid hand wash is between 750 milliliters. You might need to spend 45 kwacha for that particular item. Those are your food and the non-food items when it comes to the prices, but also the construction commodities and the business news stories we had for you today on the Diamond News Desk at 8, which continues right after this.
Business News was brought to you by Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank. Zambia Industrial Commercial Bank, making tomorrow possible.
You are still watching the Diamond News Desk on Diamond TV, TSTV channel 271, GoTV channel 20. We continue with more news stories. Residents along the Great North Road have urged the Road Development Agency to speed up construction of the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway. They have raised concerns over traffic jams, dust from diversions and road accidents, despite welcoming the project. RDA Head of Corporate Communications, Anthony Muloa, says 45.6% of the works have been completed and assures the public of a timely delivery. He has also urged motorists to follow traffic rules and warned against vandalism of road infrastructure. Central Province Minister Mwabanshike Nkulusa has expressed satisfaction with the progress in his province.
It is one of Zambia's busiest highways, linking Lusaka to the Copper Belt. But for communities living along the Great North Road, the wait for the dual carriageway is taking too long. Residents say the congestion is disrupting the movement of goods and services, with motorists forced to use dusty shortcuts. The Road Development Agency, RDA, says work is progressing. According to RDA, 45.6% of the project has so far been completed.
And our target by December 2025 is to push the project to 75%, which means we will have approximately over 300 kilometers of asphalt surfacing works done. This is, in pursuance of completing the project in time or ahead of schedule. And we are happy where we are standing as the agency. The works are progressing very well, and the concessionaire is working day and night to ensure that we just complete this in record time.
The project is expected to ease movement, cut down travel time, and improve safety.
So for me, really part of Central Province, where I am minister, I think the road has been phenomenal and the progress has been good. It is just good that they've come this side of the road where the traffic was quite too much. Our biggest call is to the pedestrians, but also I think I want to implore RATSA. I think they must spend a lot of time to educate our people, more especially on the stretch from 6 miles or Mandevu, if you like, almost all the way up to Chisamba. I think they must do a lot of safety education so that people can really be safe.
The Lusaka Ndola Dual Carriageway remains one of the country's most important infrastructure projects, with both government and communities keen to see it completed on time. Reporting for Diamond News. In Central Province, I'm Best Jerry.
Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Elias Mubanga, has warned that cooperatives failing to file annual returns will not access empowerment programs under the Constituency Development Fund. He disclosed that out of 139,000 registered cooperatives, only 10,000 are up to date with returns, making it difficult for the government to monitor their performance. Mr. Mubanga made the remarks during a press briefing in Lusaka.
The submission of annual returns by cooperatives is one of the measures of compliance of cooperatives to the existing cooperative legal framework in Zambia. Any failure to abide by the existing laws is punishable, and you will be required to pay administrative fees contained in the statutory instrument SI number 25 of 2024. Furthermore, any defaulting cooperatives should not be allowed, and I emphasize, should not be allowed to access empowerment programs such as those provided under the Constituency Development Fund in the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Farmer Input Support Program, which is FISIP, under the Ministry of Agriculture, Youth Empowerment Fund under the Ministry of Youth, Sports.
We take our final set of commercials. We'll be back with the rest of the news. Keep watching. Welcome back. We continue with the rest of the news. Despite ZESCO's recent reduction of load shedding hours in most areas, Mongu residents are experiencing extended power cuts lasting over 12 hours daily. Households and small businesses, including barbershops and phone booths, have been affected heavily.
A stove sits in the corner of a Mongu home, coated in dust, looking like it has not been used for years. Inside a nearby fridge, only a pack of beef sausages remains, slowly melting. With 12 long hours of darkness, many families can no longer buy food in bulk as it spoils before it can be consumed. Not only those who stay home are affected. A mobile money booth attendant who depends on electricity to charge her devices shares her plight.
We need
the government to step into this matter. Most of the time I fail to charge my phones and other devices. This makes it difficult for me to serve my customers the next day, and we do not have money to buy original power banks. We really need the government to handle this issue of electricity because our businesses are suffering, she said. From the booths to the barber shop, the challenge is the same. But today, for the next few hours, the operator is lucky. Sometimes I just sit here the whole day without power, and customers would walk away. If nothing changes soon, I might be forced to close the barber shop because I can't continue running at a loss, he said. From the households to small enterprises, Mongu residents continue to struggle with prolonged load shedding, and while ZESCO promised reduced hours, the people here are still waiting for that promise to reach their town. Reporting for Diamond News in Mongu district of Western Province, Christine Musole.
On that note, we come to the conclusion of the Diamond News Desk at 8 p.m. For more news updates, do visit our website, diamondtvzambia.com. Follow our Facebook page, Diamond TV Online. On Instagram, Diamond TV Social. YouTube, TikTok and X, we are Diamond TV Zambia. We come to your screen on DSTV channel 271 and GoTV channel 20. My name is Diana Mwenda. Good evening.